You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later God cut you down, sooner or later God cut you down. Go tell that long-time liar, go and tell.
Hey up everybody, welcome to Friday morning. We completely missed Thursday out, and what happened there is I didn't do anything. We came home from the race Wednesday night really late, and we stopped up really late. We were like after 1 o'clock in the morning, and we were sat downstairs wide awake, so we got to bed really late. And if I need to do my run before work, my alarm clock goes off for 6 in the morning, and it wasn't going to happen. There was no run on Thursday. So we're out today doing the scheduled 60 minutes easy, and enjoying getting back into it after that race, because wow, didn't that go well. Well, I always do a post-race analysis and look at all the numbers and the data to see if I could have done any better, and the truth is I don't think anybody can do better than what they did on the day, but I honestly believe with this one I did it as just about as right for me as is possible, because I did a really effective negative split, which that's been proven to be the most effective way to run a race. Pretty much all the world records are done by negative splits. I can't think of any that's been done on a positive split. I will explain that actually, because I have heard confusion about it. So a positive split, that's when you get slower throughout the race, and I'm going to have to use the bucket of sand to explain this. So positive split, you start off quite fast and then you run out of energy towards the end of the race, or even from the middle of the race onwards, and you get slower and slower. And to compare this to a bucket of sand, the sand is your energy, and at the start of the race you make a great big hole in the bottom of the bucket and your sand comes crashing out, and before you get to the end of the race your bucket's empty, you're done. So it's a struggle to try and keep any kind of pace. The next one is your straight splits, and that's where let's use a 30-minute 5k, 30-minute parkrun as your example. So 30 minutes works out at 6 minutes per kilometre, because 5 6s are 30, easy maths. And a straight split is where you do all your training for the 6 minutes a kilometre, and then when it comes to the actual run or the race, you go out at 6 minutes a kilometre. You stick to that rigidly, and throughout the race you stick to your 6 minutes a kilometre. You keep it the same pace, and then right at the end, if you've got anything left, then you can completely empty the tank and get your last little dart in at the end. And as the bucket of sand goes, the best way to explain that is you put the perfect hole in the bottom of the bucket so that the sand comes out at a steady controlled rate, and by the end of your race your last grains of sand are coming out. Effective. But the negative split, that's the champion, and that's, I'm going to take away all the big science words and explain it easy. So that's where you go out at just a little bit slower than what you actually want to achieve. So getting back to the 30-minute 5k, go out at 6 minutes and 5 seconds a kilometre for that first kilometre, you're actually going a little bit too slow. And what that's actually doing, that's saving energy, because you've made a hole in that bucket a little bit smaller to save a little bit. Yes, you've lost a whole 5 seconds on that first kilometre, but here's the magic, because then you do the middle part at your goal pace, which means that you make the hole in that bucket the right size so that more sand starts to come out a bit quicker, and you do your 6 minutes a kilometre. And then as the race goes on and tiredness kicks in, your body needs more fuel to be able to run at that intensity. And you've been smart, you've saved some from that first kilometre, so that that last kilometre or two you can actually increase your pace to faster than what your intended target is, and the overall net time of the run is quicker because of it. That is a negative split, and that's how it works. It's all about smart use of the energy you've got. And I can't remember the exact numbers. I think I did the 9 minutes. I can't remember the numbers. I'll put them on the screen, the negative splits. But I went noticeably slower in the first half to save energy for the second half when I was tired, and my final kilometres were much faster than my actual goal pace I was running, because I was able to. That's a negative split, and as soon as you can get your head around that, and as soon as you can start executing that, your times will increase. Not from fitness, but just from being smart and running in a way that actually gets the most out of what you've got already. So have a look into it, give it a go, try it at a parkrun. Parkruns are every Saturday. Give it a go. Do a little experiment where you do positive splits, straight splits 1 week, and then another week you do your negative splits, and see which one suits you, because negative splits are the way. And when you get comfortable with it, every race you do, as soon as you believe in that process, you'll be knocking considerable amounts of time off your PBs. Let's have a run. That's today's run done. I'll put the data on the screen for you. Super low heart rate today, 118 beats a minute. A nice easy run as part of the Norwegian Singles. Really enjoyed it today. Had some good weather, hardly any wind, and it stayed dry. That's a double bonus. So before I head off, I've got to go home now and get cleaned up and get out to work. Before I do that, I'll show you the shoes. And today we had the Nike Vomero Plus in my black colourway. I put these on today because it was grim weather throughout the night. We've had some storms and rain and things. I expected it to be much worse today, but it's been really nice. Really enjoyed it. So that's it. Time to get going now. So until tomorrow's parkrun, I'll see thee. Hey up everybody, welcome to Saturday morning. And that can only mean one thing. It's parkrun day. And today we're through at Groe again, and I'll be using the Coros Pacer app. I'm still getting used to that before I do my final review on it. So enough chatting, let's get us warm up done.
4, 3, 2, 1, off you go! Has anyone seen their pigs? Go!
1954 estimated finish time. Good morning, Mr. Marshall.
Good morning, young gent.
I'm approaching the 1 kilometre distance marker, so I'll press the manual lap button. We're on a finish time of 20 minutes dead. That's not bad pacing, is it?
Supposed to be fun.
Thank you. Oh, you alright? Come through, mate. Yeah, go on, crack on, mate. $3.56 for that kilometre. Let's have a look here. Gone for a 20:02. Just hovering nicely around the 20 minutes. $20 dead. Well done. 3:57 on that split. Well done. Are we there yet?
Yeah, are we there? Keep to your left, leading runners coming through.
That said 3:54. Minutes dead. Finish time. Okay, finish straight. 19:57 estimated. Still on 57. Thank you. 10. Well, that's Groe Parkrun done, and another successful use of the Coros Pacer app. I'll put the data on the screen, so I'll just get off the course now because there's still people running. The watch said 1958, so going by recent form, I will put the official time on it. I'll probably say 19:59 because there's always been 1 second discrepancy. But it's a good little app. I'm having to stay right away from the finish line because I will get a copyright strike. He's got lots of music going on up there as old Lee Jarvis, the event director. So I'll stay down here, but I'll show you the shoes. And it's a Saturday, it's a sub-threshold, so you've already guessed already. It is the Leaning Fedian 5 Challengers with a cracking pair of monkey socks to finish them off. So, successful sub-threshold run in the bag. I think my heart rate tops at 161, which is comfortably sub-threshold. I'm going to go back up there now. I'm going to find Mrs. A up, and we've got a couple of friends come over from Aberystwyth, so we'll be grabbing a cup of coffee with them. So until tomorrow's long run, I'll see thee. Hey up everybody, welcome to Sunday, and that means it's long run day. And today I'm staying local, not travelling far afield to get this one done today, but I am going to do a course I've not done, or a route should I say, that I've not done for a long time. And this route is appropriately named the Diamond of Death, and that was named by a local chap named Rob a while ago because the route's shaped like a diamond, and I'll stick the elevation profile on the screen for you. That's why it's the Death. We've got some absolutely monster hills to get done today, but what I am going to do, I'm going to keep the intensity, the effort, the work level as low as I can, because that's part of the Norwegian Singles Approach. The long runs are an easy effort, but just long in time. So let's get this run done. I'm not sure how well that's going to come out on camera, but in front of us is the first little hill. And saying little hill, it's quite big by most people's standards, but it's only a warm-up of what we got later to do in the run. So let's just take things nice and easy and get this first rise done. Okay, we're at the bottom of the hill. Let's have some fun. And this is the top of the first hill. Now we get a long downhill after, I'll call it warm-up hill, because I know what's coming soon. So let's get back to us running. And here's where the downhill goes really downhill. Just freewheel now, no brakes. Nutrition alert, we're 30 minutes in Right, let's introduce you to this, because for a long time now I've been pre-mixing my own training fuel. I've been using maltodextrin, things like that, and weighing out the amounts, getting my carbs right. I'm trying something new today. I watched a YouTube video by Goran recently, Goran Wimblad, and he basically explained how granulated sugar, it's just a 50-50 mix of fructose and glucose. So for a while now he's just been using granulated sugar with a pinch of sea salt. So that's what I've got today. When I'm doing my races, I use the SAS beta gels. They're 40 grams of carbs. So I've got 2 doses of 40 grams here. I'm going to have half this soft flask now, which is 40 grams of granulated sugar with a pinch of sea salt, and then in another 30 minutes I'll finish the bottle off. And that's my training fuel, and it's also making sure I'm staying hydrated as well, because there's a good volume of water in that. So let's get this done. It's actually quite nice. Well, look at this scenery. Aren't I spoilt round here? In front of me is the hills that overlook a place called Landingham. You can see the wind farm on the top. That's a lovely run that I've done a few times, going up and over there. But you can see pretty much in front of you, excuse me, the hill that we're going to be running up soon. And I've not yet given it a name, not one that I can repeat anyway. So if you want to put some appropriate names for this hill in the comments, it will be forever known as that hill. So let's get towards this main road and let's get this hill done. There's the second bridge we're running over, going across the River Severn. Look how small it is. We're so close to the source of the River Severn here. That river's so small to what you see downstream in the Midlands. Now let's get across this busy road. I do believe we are so lucky. Look at this. And there's a sign there, Welsh Mountain Cider, 2 miles. We'll be running by that place. Local orchards, local cider press, local dizzy water. Very, very good stuff if you like a pint of cider. So here we are at the bottom of that hill. I hope to see a lot of comments naming this hill for me. Points awarded for the ones that aren't swearing, because there could be younger people watching the channel. So I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to put fast forward on, and I'm not even going to bother looking at my heart rate because it's already at the top of zone 1, and I've got an absolute monster of a hill in front of me. So let's get this done. Well, that's something you don't see every day. Nutrition alert. It's time to finish the last of the Goran special. Let's get this done. There we go, that's the top of the hill. I'll put on screen the actual distance I've just run uphill, but it's a good old way. Let's see how many people recognise where we are now. If you're a channel regular, if you haven't noticed already, you'll quickly notice exactly where we are and where we're heading towards. The noise of the crows might give it away. And there we go. We've finished exactly where we started. That's the Diamond of Death done. I'll put the stats on the screen now. Not sure what my heart rate actually topped out at. Probably went right up into zone 3 on that really big hill. Don't forget to let me know a name for that hill. Hi, Juan. But I'll put all the stats on the screen, the distance, the elevation, the profile, and what I haven't done for a while, I'll put my my weekly mileage on. This week was actually a lower mileage or less time on feet because of the race we had on Wednesday, but a good training week overall. We had a good result on the Wednesday, but that's this week done. Before we head off and get ourselves cleaned up and changed, we have to show you the shoes. And it's a Sunday, so there's pretty much only one shoe that you'd expect me to wear for a long run, and that's the Dynafish Xiaonian. And these have got more than 200 kilometers on them at the moment. If we just go to the back so you can see the monkey socks, because the socks are really important as well. I'll do a little drop down of the mileage for the shoes. But that's it, week done. Tomorrow it all starts all over again. So until tomorrow 60 minutes easy run, I'll see you. And I've just noticed there were a huge dirty smudge on the lens. If you're seeing this is because I'm apologising for the bad picture. If you're not seeing this, that's because I got away with it.